Today we're going to turn this into this. Hi, Angela from Enchanted Ears here. Today we're going to make a Mickey tie-dye t-shirt. In order to do that, we are going to need a few supplies. Check out the description below for all of them. So this is a template that I made. You're going to do half of it. This is Mickey. You're going to need some white t-shirts, a fabric marker, artificial sinew, some rubber bands, some rubber gloves, some dye, soda ash to help soak in the color, and last but not least, some sort of plastic bag in order to really help that dye set. So let's get started. I'm going to take the template and I am going to line it up with the edge of the shirt. I'm going to line up the top and the bottom because I definitely have the middle. It's a little higher in the middle. And I want to put that approximately like armpit height. So kind of right where your chest would be. So I'm going to take my fabric marker and nice and lightly trace it. So you don't have to press very hard with your fabric marker. If you do, then the fabric starts to bunch. So just do it nice and lightly. You can always go right back over it. So you'll notice my fabric is nice and smooth. And the reason for that is because I did have to bust out the good old iron before. And I did that because I wanted to have a nice flat shirt and I wanted a nice crisp line on the edge. So that way because since we're only doing half a Mickey shirt, that way, or half of a Mickey's head, that way the other side is symmetrical. So I think we're good here. I'm gonna remove my template. It looks great. I just tied a regular slip knot on here so that it'll slide for at the very end, so I have it ready to go. And then I'm going to do some accordion folds on the shirt here. I have it pressed nice, and I'm just going to kind of flatten it out one more time before we go. And I'm going to try to fold this, accordion fold it, so that all of this line, this blue line, is in a straight line, and then I will slide this over top. So this is the part when you're starting to get toward the bottom of the ear. This is the part where it's going to feel like you need like 5 more fingers because the shirt doesn't really want, you get this bunch right here and it's really difficult. So just do your best to maintain your line and really force the shirt to do what it does not want to do. Now I'm going to take the sinew and I'm going to slide it over my line. The last part here is I am going to take it and wrap it around once, twice, 3 times, cut it, and tie a knot. So the nice thing about working with sinew and why I recommend doing that is that it is sticky and it's coated in wax, so it will actually hold whenever you're tying your knot. And then we're ready to tie our rubber bands. See how you have these nice accordion folds? You're going to just continue those folds out so that you have really pretty pattern on your shirt. And then you're going to get your rubber bands and start creating sections. Okay, so you see I'm sort of just winging how far apart that I want these to be. And that's because it doesn't really matter how far apart they are. You can gauge it based on how big you want your sections to be. If you put them too close though, your colors are going to run together. So just keep that in mind. So there we have it. This is ready to be soaked in the soda ash so that the colors will stay. Okay, so as you can see, I'm wearing my gloves and this shirt is now soaking wet. We soaked it in soda ash in order to help the dye set. So we soaked it in the soda ash for 20 to 30 minutes roughly. And so now the shirt is primed and ready. We're ready to start the dyeing process. So This down here is going to be Mickey's head, so I'm going to make that black. And I am going to gently pour this over the shirt. Now you want to be pretty generous with the dye, and you're going to also dye both sides because you want, of course, you want this to turn out nice and dark and pretty. Now, one thing that we did is we tied our rubber bands really tight. That's going to give me a little bit more white. So if you didn't want so much white, what you would do is just make sure you don't tie your rubber bands really tight. So I grabbed a Ziploc bag. A grocery bag would work. Just wanted to make sure that you guys could see it really nice and easily. Open it up and kind of try to keep the different dark colors away from the light colors, or else they're going to start blending. Okay, so this is all set to wait for anywhere up to like 24 hours, which is about what I'm going to let it sit for. So this is how it turned out, a little better than expected, considering that it was really hard to get the sinew on the blue lines. So if you liked what you saw, make sure that you hit subscribe down below for our weekly videos. Have a magical day. Bye. Check out my co-host. Okay. If you